and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd talk you through my morning skincare routine. I've been using the same kind of stuff for quite a while, and recently I have added in a few more new products into my routine which I've been really enjoying. They've had a massive impact on my skin. Just for a little bit of background on my skin, I tend to have quite a dehydrated forehead, and by dehydrated I mean like a lack of water in the skin. It can have a tendency to look a little bit crepey and I can get those fine kind of dehydration lines. I also have some dry patches, and by dry I mean a lack of oil in the skin. I tend to get that kind of on my eyelids, on my upper lip, and a little bit in this kind of cheek region. It all kind of connects, and that's where I can get some eczema sometimes as well. In spite of all that dryness and dehydration, I still get clogged pores, particularly around my nose and on my chin. So I try and kind of use different products in different areas to try and balance all of that. I'd say I do a pretty good job. Most of the time my skin kind of looks okay, fingers crossed, hopefully I haven't jinxed it. So I just thought I'd talk you through what I'm using at the moment. So the first thing I use in the morning is this cleanser. It's the Nude Perfect Cleanse Omega Cleansing Jelly. I only started using this recently, about just over a month ago, and I've just really been enjoying it. I mentioned it in my April favourites, which I will link down below if you want to see that. So this comes out like as a jelly, as the name would suggest, and you kind of massage it into your skin and it turns into a very lightweight slippery oil. So I massage that into my skin, which takes me only about 30 seconds. And then I run a flannel or washcloth under some warm water and then just take it off with that. And I do like some circular motions just to give myself a little gentle exfoliation, that's the word. I then follow that with some toner, and for that I've been using the Ren Clarifying Toner. Now this is a toner that contains salicylic acid, which is really good for keeping the pores clear. I've definitely found that in the last few weeks I've had a lot of congestion on my nose and chin, and I think that's because with my eczema that I had during the winter, I was using very heavy, rich, buttery night creams and even day creams. So I'm trying to combat that a little bit. So what I do is I put a little bit of this on a cotton wool pad and then sweep it all over my face, or actually not all over my face, just in certain areas. So I tend to do like my forehead, my nose, my chin and my cheeks. I like make sure I avoid my upper lip or like anywhere that's too sensitive and reactive. But that said, this is quite gentle. It's really nice. It contains salicylic acid to keep your pores clear, and it smells of lavender, which is just really lovely. Next up, I follow that with a serum, and for that I've been using the Caudalie Vinoperfect Radiant Serum Complexion Correcting. Rather a long name, but I love Caudalie products, particularly because they contain a lot of antioxidants. It's like the whole ethos of the brand. They use antioxidants that come from grapes. So antioxidants are really good for fighting against pollution and premature signs of aging and things like that. So it's very much a preventative ingredient in terms of skincare, rather than like, what's the word? Cure. Rather than trying to cure, which I am a big believer of. So this I haven't been using that long, but I've been really enjoying. It's quite lightweight, quite watery. It adds a lot of water or hydration into the skin, so it's been particularly making a big difference to my forehead area. So I apply, I think, about 6-7 drops all over my face and neck, and I've been loving that. So in terms of like the complexion correcting part of that, I'm not sure it really does that much. I mean, I think if you haven't used something that's like for dark spots or pigmentation before, then you might think this is quite good, but I've tried quite a lot of things, and I think the Sunday Riley Good Genes and the Radical like multi-brightening serum are much better, although they do cost like 3 times the amount. But if you want results in terms of like pigmentation, I'd go for something like that over this. But I have been loving this for its hydrating and antioxidant properties. Next up, for eye cream, I've been using this, and this is the Aurelia Revitalize and Brighten Eye Dew. Now this comes in a duo. So this is like the day eye cream, and then it comes with a little night eye cream, which comes in a pot, and it's like thicker and creamier. And then this one is like a roll on, and it's very nice and cold and refreshing, and it's a very kind of light serum-y eye cream. They're kind of completely the opposite. Now, because I've had this like eczema and dry skin around my eyes, I've been using just the night version, day and night, for the last few months, and I'm nearly out of that. But now that like my eyes are feeling a lot better, I thought I'd give the day one a proper try finally. So I've been using it in the mornings and I'm really enjoying it. It's really refreshing, and it's great for people like me who have babies and wake up a few times during the night and wake up with kind of tired looking eyes, because it really like refreshes them and wakens them up. Yeah, wakens them up. I feel like that sounds wrong. Wakes them up. Anyway, you know what I mean. But yeah, I've really been loving that. And Aurelia are a very kind of natural brand. They have like probiotics in their skincare. Their ingredients are like organic. So if you're into all that kind of naturally type stuff, you might like that one. Although very expensive, and you have to get it in the duo, which is annoying because I could see myself going through like 2 or 3 pots of the night one for every like one of these day ones, because my eczema always plays out. Next up, a facial oil, and this is the Aesop Damascan Rose Facial Treatment, which is another one which I mentioned in my April favourites video. I've been using this for about 6-7 weeks now, and I've really been enjoying it, although I have to say I've gone through like more than half of it already, which is quite quick for a facial oil. I use this every morning, and either I do like a few drops on its own and then follow it with my day cream, or if I'm in a bit of a rush, which to be honest is most days, I just drop a few drops in with my day cream, which works really well for me. So yeah, this is nice. It has like quite a rosy herbal scent, but nothing too strong or in your face, and it's just like a nice lightweight moisturising oil that just adds that little extra bit of oomph into my day cream, which I definitely need. And the day cream, which I have been loving, is the Nuxe Reve du Miel day cream, and this is for the dry and sensitive skin version, and it's the day version, which it doesn't actually say it's the day version, but it just has like a little sun on it, and I know the night version has a little moon on it, so it doesn't say it in words, but it is the day version. And as you can see, I have really used this to death. Like, I don't know why like people don't talk about this product so much more. It's such an underrated product in my opinion. Like, the lip balm is so famous for like if you have dry, chapped lips, and this does exactly the same thing for skin. So if you're really dry, or you have eczema or psoriasis or any like really dry, flaky, horrible, itchy skin condition, or you're like going skiing, or you're going to be in really cold weather outside, this is just fantastic. I've been using this now for a good few months, probably like 3 months or something like that. But yeah, I just can't like recommend it highly enough. Although I have to say, my skin, it has improved my skin so much that I probably don't need to continue using it, just because my skin, it's kind of fixed the dryness, and now when I run out I'll probably go to something a little bit lighter weight, especially because we're like going into spring now and my skin hasn't been quite as dry. I also did a really full in-depth review of that on my blog, so if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about it in detail, I'll link that down below in the description box so you can go have a read if you would like to. And then the last thing I use in my morning skincare routine is the Zelens Daily Defense Sunscreen, and this is a broad spectrum SPF 30. Now, using an SPF is so important, and it's also really important that it hasn't, I was going to say that it has an SPF in it, but that it is broad spectrum is what I meant. I use this basically on top of my day cream on any day that I'm going out of the house, and I just really like it. It's really moisturising, but it like really sinks. Oh, I've hardly got any left in this. I'll probably save it. I won't like waste it on the back of my hand. But yeah, it's really nice. It's quite moisturising, but also somehow really lightweight. So I think this would really work for all skin types, whether you're like really dry or quite oily or anywhere in between. It's also really nice because it doesn't leave like a grey or bluey kind of ashy tone to the skin, which is so important when you have a darker skin tone, because I think when you have quite fair skin you can get away with a lot of skin SPFs, but when you have darker skin they can leave that horrible kind of ashy grey-blue tinge, which is just so unflattering, and then you have to put on loads of like heavy coverage foundation to cover it, which isn't ideal. And also because I tend to quite like just a light kind of tinted moisturiser for every day, those kind of things really don't work for me. So I am a die-hard fan of this, and I will probably always buy this over like any other SPF. Like I've gone through many of them and I will just buy it over and over again. When the weather gets a little bit warmer, sometimes I will use like either a really lightweight moisturiser and then go straight onto this, or on holiday I'll just use that as my moisturiser. Like I'll do a serum, maybe a little bit of oil, and then go straight to that, as like my skin doesn't need as much moisture. So anyway, those are most of the products that I use in my morning skincare routine. I do have a little few other bits and bobs in my little skincare drawer, which I tend to pull out every now and then as I need them, but I might do a whole separate video on that, on like masks and treatments and stuff. But on the whole, that's what I use. I've been really enjoying it. It's really helped improve like my dry areas, my dehydrated areas, and also like congestion. It's just generally really improved my skin, and I'm probably the happiest with my skin now than I've been in quite a few months. Like it was kind of all over the place while I was pregnant and just after I had my baby, so I think it's finally starting to settle back down now, so fingers crossed it stays good. As always, I will link all of the products that I mentioned down below in the description box, so you can have a look at them in detail if you want to. I'll also link the blog post that I wrote on this day cream. And that's it really. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!